night of Rep's 88th season. My name is Jeremy Domingo, and I'm the Artistic Director of Repertory Philippines, and I warmly welcome everyone here tonight. This is our first full season at our new home at Rep Eastwood Theater. We opened last October with Jeboy and the Magic Circle with Rep Theater for young audiences, but this is something generally for the grown-ups and general audiences. To our long-time season subscribers, to our dear guests, welcome to the restaging of I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. Now some of you may be asking, why are we beginning the season with a reprise? Well, because there's still so much life in it yet. We opened last June in, it was the middle of our 87th season at RCBC. And we loved performing it so much. We received 13 citations from 𝐓𝐈𝐂𝐊𝐄𝐓, 2 from the ALIO Awards, and it very humbly was cited Best Musical of 2024 by the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Thank you so much. And I think those were enough reasons pointing that there was still so much life in it yet. And the story isn't done yet. The story has to continue. So here we are. Thank you to all our beloved neighbors in Quezon City who have given us such a warm welcome in our few months here. I would like to point out that, very briefly before I call on some of our other esteemed guests, that Rep always has been, is, and always will be about the Filipino actor. That among the members of our cast, Gian Magdangal, who appeared in Dear Evan Hansen in Singapore, international performer. Gabby Padilla, the winner of Best Actress at Cinemalaya 2024. And I believe she received a citation for Best Supporting Actress at the Metro Manila Film Festival. Krystal, Kane, who you probably saw in Going Home to Christmas, Jose Marichan musical, with the Repertory Ensemble. Marvin, who is a successful academician and a concert performer. And within this run, our 2 covers, Barbara Hanse and Davy Narciso, will be appearing on stage in this run. Now, and so let's hear it for the cast. We're here for them. And they are the ones bringing the story to you tonight. I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of our distinguished partners who are here with us this evening. From the news team of GMA7, Saksi, maraming salamat sa inyo. Thank you for the coverage. And by the way, this season, GMA7 is now the official media partner of Repertory Philippines. From our dear friends from Super Park Eastwood, Mr. Kurt Soliman, General Manager, and our manager, Mr. Ryan Alfred Go. Maraming salamat, and please do check out Super Park Eastwood. And of course, thank you very much. Mr. Graham Coates couldn't be with us this evening, but I would like to acknowledge the presence of a dear friend, Ms. 𝐓𝐈𝐂𝐊𝐄𝐓, General Manager, and Cluster General Manager, Mr. Tyrone Tan, our landlords and dear friends of Eastwood Malls. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. But before we do continue, it is
musical, and I know you will love it. After that, we are going to be having our workshops for musical theater. And we're going to have the first session here at this theater, and then the second session will be at Mint.
Correct. College in Ortigas, one of our new partners this year.
Yes. Of course, the workshop is open to kids of all ages, from age 4 all the way up to adults. And at the end of the sessions, they do a performance right here on stage, a full-length production. So it's going to be very interesting. Then in June, we will be presenting another comedy, a straight comedy, not a musical, called Art, written by Yasmina Reza. It will be directed by Victor Lirio, who directed Betrayal last year. Maneuvers. So, you know, there are a lot of plays sometimes that are fight scenes, like in Shakespeare and all of that. So we are bringing in a combat expert to give a class on how to give maneuvers in fighting so that it seems real. And we also are partnering. Did you mention the Krystal Old Vic? Okay. We are also partnering with the oldest and most esteemed theater company in the world, the Bristol Old Vic Theater. They are so excited and they are sharing with us their syllabus, and we are going to use that syllabus to be able to present and teach these students. And we are also so grateful to JT International, as well as the Mercedes Zobel Foundation, for funding the bridge project, without which, had they not helped us, REP would not be able to offer these classes free of charge. Free of charge. Everybody is welcome to come and participate. It will be held, it will actually be held here. So, what else do I have to say? What else do we have? Before Alice in Wonderland, we are also partnering with Ballet Philippines and the Manila Symphony Orchestra, because we are going to present Peter and the Wolf, Sergei Prokofiev's classical musical masterpiece. And this will be held at the Soler Theater. We won't be able to hold it here because of our RTYA production. And so this will be held at Soler in September. Aside from that, we're doing Little Red Riding Hood. Again, this is part of REP's outreach and REP's giving back to the community. And it ties in with our mission and vision of teaching and training, because that is what REP is about. We're not just a regular theater that churns out musicals and plays. No, we teach and we train. And that is really our vision, our mission. That is why it was started by Zenaida Amador. And so, like Jeremy said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So I'm not going to tell you to do that, because I know you will enjoy the show. What I want to ask you is to keep up your passion and your love for performing arts by uplifting and empowering culture and the arts in our country. Where it all began, starting with the roots, where it all began with rap. Thank you.
March 9th.
Here at the Rep Eastwood Theater.
Yes. And you can get tickets at Ticket World, Ticket to Me, also at the Repertory Philippines box office.
And if you're posting photos and videos, please tag Repertory Philippines and use our official hashtag #ILoveYouRep2025.
Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
That was I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. In a few minutes, we will have a talk back with the cast and director, so please stay tuned. All ye good people of Earth, good evening, and thank you so much for staying for our talk back with our wonderful cast. Please, another round of applause. Okay, of course, thank you so much. Of course, we'd like to call our director, 𝐓𝐈𝐂𝐊𝐄𝐓𝐖𝐿𝐃𝐃, to join us on stage. And we'd also like to call Barbara Hansen, one of our swings, to join us as well. Okay, so we're so excited to hear from everybody, and we will be taking questions from the audience. But I'd like to start things off with our beautiful and talented director. So, 𝐓𝐈𝐂𝐊𝐄𝐓𝐖𝐿𝐃𝐃, obviously, this is a rerun, and the musical got so much great feedback and accolades and raves from last year. How did this affect your direction and vision for this year's staging?
For this year? For the restaging, you mean? Well, we pretty much kept the show intact. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the show in the past. We did a few adjustments. I think the cast has grown into their roles more, and we were able to tweak certain attacks. And I was able to add like little tweaks here and there, especially with the video and stuff that I felt was more appropriate for the telling of the story. But other than that, it's pretty much the same show. Yeah, I was very proud of the show in June, so we kept it as close to the June show than as close we could get, considering it's a different venue. Yeah.
Are you excited to say hello again for this year? And that's for all 5 of you.
This is on. Hello? Hello? Mic check. Well, mine was Muriel, the last scene, the old lady. I love her story because it's just very heartwarming, like kind of finding love again, or like companionship after, you know, your special someone, you know, passed away. So that was something that I was really excited to do with Gian.
Yeah, same. Arthur. I don't usually play an old person. Just yeah, Arthur. It's very heartwarming also to do, and the song is also really nice.
Yeah.
I would say Rose Ritz because I just feel I love her very much, and I feel like we've all been there at some point in our lives, and so there's always that room to play and explore and kind of look inwards. But yeah, I love Rose Ritz very much.
Ako naman yung sa Stud and a Babe. Kasi natural nagigil ako sa totoong buhay. Hindi mo na alam sa hindi. Pero it's a very fun scene.
Yeah.
I know I did my job if I'm tired after that scene. So
So were you tired today?
always.
Okay, good job, good job.
I would also have to say Rose Ritz, especially since I'll be getting to be in Gabby's track this weekend.
Yes.
It was Friday and Saturday, so tomorrow at 8 p.m. and Saturday at 3:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. I will be going on for Woman 1, which is Gabby's track. Yes, but yes, I would have to say Rose Ritz as well.
All right, so does anybody in the audience have any questions?
Everything changes, like our demeanor, our voice, our, you know, our costume, and it can get really overwhelming, but I think
And layers.
yeah, exactly. Layers and layers of clothing. But I think what's great is that we really kind of dove like deep into these like characters, and we really got to understand them, and therefore it was very easy to kind of switch to each character, like eventually. Because yeah, like Tita 𝐓𝐿𝐿 has always told us that we have to ground these characters in truth. And that's what we've been working on. So I think that's what made it easy for us to eventually switch on and off and kind of jump from character to character.
I would say that this is one of the hardest things I've had to do, but I think we're very lucky, and I think it's a testament to the brilliance of Tita 𝐓𝐿𝐿, because it's really her leadership that's brought this whole show together. And exactly that, the golden rule is just like, stick to truth. You can never go wrong with truth. And even in comedy, don't do it for laughs, do it for truth. And I think that's really helped us in doing this.
That's right.
Yeah.
And also a lot of it also has to, I mean, like, we have to have fun.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have fun doing it, then I guess it's,
What's the point?
what's the point? yeah. It's really the fun of it. It's really so fun to do it, and that's I guess, the main ingredient. How we'll be able to get to one character to the other also.
Ako naman, taking off from Gian. It's difficult, but if you're doing it with people you love, it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's it's been a blessing personally for me because I've been away for 10 years from the stage, and to come back to a group that legit, no showbiz, loves each other on and off the stage. It's such an easy transition back because it's a team effort talaga. And sobrang family yung
Don't cry.
artist.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Shouldn't I be?
Yeah, I'll just add to that. It was really a challenge, and I put them through hell because when we the script is not written, the transitions are not written like that. It's literally vignette, blackout, title, vignette, blackout, title, and I wanted to do something very different with it. And I had a great team to collaborate with. I had a great set designer, Joey Mendoza. I had a great lighting designer, Militon Rojas. I had Gab doing my projections, and then I had Joey also doing the costumes with Hershey helping. I had a great stage manager, and I had a great cast. So on day one, when I told them, okay guys, you're going to do all the set changes. And they're like, but Tita Menchu, we have to change costumes. We'll figure that out later on. But you have to do, because I created that whole device of just the 4 chairs and the 2 tables. And that becomes everything. And I didn't want the blackouts. So I was like, how am I going to do the non-blackouts and still make it make sense? So that's when I came up with the idea of a choreographed transition with the projections of New York. And so it took us a while to get there, so we had to simplify, and it's literally just a coat on or just a coat removed. And we would time the transition so that we knew that they could make it. And during the first runs, they were like, stop, we didn't make the, we didn't make the change. Okay, how much time do you need? How do we simplify that costume? So it was really, really a collaboration, and I had very willing actors who I must have driven crazy.
And a great choreographer.
And a great choreographer, Deepan, that's right. Deepan helped me with all the movements, and and I told him that it had to look a certain way. I wanted it very sleek. I didn't want it to be performed as much. Like I said, I wanted it grounded in truth, because if it's truthful, then it's going to be funny without you trying to be funny. So it was really a journey for all of us, and I'm so proud of these people. I'm so proud, and thank you for taking the journey with me.
This next question is also for Menchu. And if anybody wants to chime in from last year.
What surprised me the most is people loved Trento and the baby song. And those were our most difficult scenes.
Yeah.
We were like, how do we make this work? We tried so many things with it. Like Gian and I would do so many interpretations of it, because it's what we have is the revival, which this was done in the 90s. And when they sent us the revival, as you notice, there are tweaks, like they talk about Netflix, they talk about Twitter. That wasn't in the original, because that didn't exist in the 90s. And then they added the rap song. So it was like bits and pieces were added to an old script. So I was like, how in heaven's name do I make this work? And so we kept exploring, and we got to a part where we thought, okay, this might work. And surprisingly, that's the one everybody loved. So there you go.
Baby song is my favorite.
Yeah, so I was like, really? Okay, so I guess we're doing something right.
We what Gabby do.
Thanks so much. So does anybody have any questions?
Oh, there we go.
Director, if she chooses to answer. You guys have all been living with these characters for a while. Which character has influenced you the most in your own life?
I'll start. I'll start. That guy who's been married for 30 years. I think, because I'm getting to a stage in life also that's about commitment.
He's getting married. He's getting married.
Parang now I can see, well, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's definitely, if you've been with somebody long enough, love takes on different forms. It's not anymore romantic love. I mean, there is love there, but it changes to maybe, even if it's routine, because the scene was directed by Tita Mench, and that first, how many seconds of, she's not even looking at me, just giving the newspaper, and I'm like, what the heck? I mean, what did I sign up for, di ba? Parang this is, ganito na lang ba talaga yung buhay? It's all routine. And I've realized that you can love people in different ways because love grows more mature as time goes by. It doesn't need to be kilig. It has to be committed. So, there.
Follow up with I think I'm just at a stage in my life where I guess it's closer to the timeline of the dating part of life. I would say just navigating the dating world has been, through my 20s, what I could relate to the most. And that it's not always easy, but when you find that right person, it is worth it.
I've played. I've actually repeat since June. I've really repeated Trental in my head so many different ways. It sounds messed up, but it's just really basically someone who's really locked up, right? And doesn't have that chance to be able to love. And I guess when you have someone to love, you gotta really grab that opportunity, regardless if it was in the pandemic or after the pandemic, or if you've lost someone, or you never know when that right time comes along. And I guess I can't believe I'm pulling that out from Trental. Yeah.
Tumatawa dito sa
Well, for me, I think I'm gonna answer this a little differently, but I can kind of relate to the bridesmaid. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And I don't know, for a few years I felt like I've always been the bridesmaid, and seeing all my friends get married, and I'm like, oh, happy for you, happy for you, happy for you, and and at the end of that song, I mean, she decides to kind of I'm okay on my own and stuff like that. And I felt like that for a while, but I think now I'm finally ready to be the bride.
Oh!
Hi, Gabby, not
Whoa.
Yeah, no. But I mean, I think when you're with the right person, it kind of it makes sense.
For me, much like Casey and Gabby, I think what I would really relate to is the lasagna incident, which would be the Tennessee that I will be loved tonight. Kind of very much allowing yourself to feel all of the good things life also has to offer, even if there are those moments of nothing's really happening, or will it ever happen, but life surprises you, and it can be good, and you should let yourself enjoy it.
Yeah.
Bring the wine.
Bring the wine.
And
Since I'm not doing any of the roles, but what I wanted to say is, what for me is the heart of the show starts at Marvin's song. So when we shifted into the Here I Go Again, that whole bit, when the show shifts into the more real and the heart of what love really is and what it entails, and the heartache that comes, the risk when you love someone, it comes with risks. And you never know if it's going to work, if it's not going to work, but you take the chance because that's what makes you feel alive. So I love the from Marvin's song down to Rose Ritz, down to the funeral. Those are my favorite scenes. And that's why I was very insistent when we started it, that you cannot play caricatures in the beginning, because then those scenes will not make sense. It will look like a different show. So everything had to be realistic. These are real people. There are people who are awkward when they're dating. I don't know about the Trental, but there are people who are awkward. There are people. So I go, you have to find these people so that when we shift it to the heart of the show, then it makes sense, and you're not sitting there going, oh, what happened? This is not funny anymore. So it's a slow transition, but I think the heart of the show, everything is encompassed in those last 3 songs. That's why for me, those are, not that I can relate to them. I mean, you know, I've been through it all. I'm older than all of them. I've been married, I'm a widow, so I know the feeling. So those for me, those last 3 songs, As It Shifts, is the heart of the show. It's really what the show is about.
Meant you and your director there or something. Share a little bit of your experience over there and preparing it to here.
Well, Dear Evan Hansen in Singapore was, of course, that was really something that was so unforgettable. At siyempre, iba rin din sa atin eh. Iba yung pakikisama. Nakakalungkot actually nung nandun ako eh. Parang gusto ko na umuwi at some point talaga. Sa totoo lang. Parang, gusto ko na umuwi. Pero ang ganda ng show. Pero gusto ko na umuwi. Parang may kasi saya dito eh. Sobrang saya dito. Parang apples, oranges eh. Different eh. I mean, you have to just count your blessings and like just see it in the good parts of it all the time. So, kung 3, 5, or 500 people in the audience, you still do a show, right? You still have fun at the end of the day. And nasa sa inyo rin, kung gusto nyong tumagal to. Diba? No, totoo lang. If you want theater to last, it's up to you guys. Because as I've observed, they really spread the word. They really love their theater community. Like, I'm proud, they're proud of their shows. It's part of their culture. And I hope it's not ngingas kugon sa atin. Sana talagang gusto talaga natin to. Gusto ba talaga natin to? Kasi kung gusto natin to, paggastusan natin, seryosohan, pag-usapan natin, lagyan natin ng purpose, tsaka talagang lagyan natin ng pera, bigyan natin talaga ng importance. Hindi lang yung ang ganda ng mga katawa. I mean, sinabi na ng Tita Mindy, this is like the 466 show. We see all those posters outside, nagiging black and white na, di ba? Si Sheila yung itsura niya. Snow White si Sheila. No, pero, I mean, my very first rep show was when I watched The Boyfriend. And
How long ago was that?
that was in 1997. And my first girlfriend then brought me to rep. And like, my life was changed. I saw Michael Williams tap dance. Oh my gosh. And you know, I literally got bit. And now that full circle, I'm doing this, so grateful to be able to do this. But there's so much mixed feelings in doing this. And being able to get opportunities abroad, when you just want to go back here and like, come on guys, let's do this. Come on, no, naman kayo. You know, because we can do so much better. We can do so much better. Yeah, we can do so much more. And, you know, and we can really like share more theater to people. I mean, isn't it life-changing? I mean, like, it is for me, so I hope it is for you when you watch.
Relationship advice. So I will give the question back and ask, what relationship advice have you learned after countless of rehearsals with each other? And yeah, I'm really curious about that. And just to share, I've also watched you guys last year, and this is really one of the plays that I really enjoyed from last year as well. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you for coming back.
So thank you.
Relationship advice.
Yes,
Yeah.
relationship advice you've learned after the
A group that, you know, goes without saying, we really trust each other. And we make a fool out of ourselves in front of each other in rehearsal and in the show. And that's probably one of the main ingredients that just like go together with the love of doing the show.
And I would say if something is done in love, it'll show talaga, and everyone will feel it, and it'll circle back to you. So hopefully that's what we made you feel tonight.
Yeah, I think also something I learned throughout like the run and everything. It's like don't settle, you know. I mean, the thing is, No, I mean, I was talking about it before with like many friends and even you guys. I was like, we all have one life. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if there's another life or not. And I feel like we deserve to kind of, like, if we want, we deserve to have that, you know, one great love, or we deserve to do whatever we want to do, be with whoever we want to be with. And I'm like, go. You know, like, don't feel like you need to settle for anything less than you deserve. And I feel like at the same time, these people made me realize that, you know, you're worth so much more. And like Gabby said, the love that you know, give and stuff will always come back to you. So I feel like we've kind of created like a bond that will last a lifetime. So it's also very important to have supportive people in your life who know your worth. Yes. You're my friend too. You're my friend too.
Ako mabilis maiksi lang. Keep coming back. Diba yun yung message ng show, diba? So, then you can say, it's too optimistic. But really, it's when you keep coming back and you realize that no one's perfect naman, diba? You just have to keep on adjusting and keep on compromising. But of course, not to settle for something less, no? But to just know that we're all human. There are different aspects to us. So just keep coming back. There's always hope.
I couldn't have said it any better. I think that's a perfect way to kind of just like wrap everything. Yeah. Dimension, you have anything?
Yeah, go to
I'm too old for this, but no. But basic for dating advice. Well, let's not do that. What I wanted to say was, yes, they have developed such a strong bond, and I think that's very important for the show, because if you notice, nobody's trying to upstage anyone. Everybody's sort of very tempered, and everybody's on the same energy level, and we worked on that. We really, really worked on that, and I told them that they have to really play it, you know, really real and at the same energy level, every single one of them. And because it was such a journey for all of us trying to find things. I mean, we would have rehearsals where I'd be, what are you doing? Make me understand what you're trying to do with choices. And I'd explain it, I'm like, okay, it's not working. But they were very, very open. And because of that, because I gave them the freedom to really explore and figure out what they wanted to do with the roles, they really leaned on each other. And I think that's very important, that nobody flies solo and everybody's really reacting to everyone and on the same level with everyone. I think that's very important as far as relationships in a company is concerned. I think that's very important. We have Padilla closing next to Norman. If you want to
see you on Sunday. Oh my God! Thank you.
Okay, so this musical portrays a lot of love stories through stages. So I guess what have you learned about yourself and how you perceive love while working on these and telling these different stories?
For me, I would have to say that I can still surprise myself in a lot of different ways. Like, I didn't think that I could learn 20 characters as swing, because I learned both 𝐓𝐈𝐂𝐿𝐿𝐴𝐶𝐂𝐓𝐿𝐴𝐶𝐂𝐂 and Gabby's track. And so that was very surprising, but also so humbling and thrilling, and it just like brings so much life back to realize, oh my God, there are things that I didn't think that I could do that I can. That's awesome, that's amazing.
Catch
You gotta come back to us.
Yeah. So life really is full of surprises, and you will also keep surprising yourself as you continue living your life. Yeah.
Me naman, don't be afraid to take a risk. I'm so fortunate to have been welcomed back by Tita Menchu and others and others to this world again, which I thought I had left behind for good. But I am as happy as I can ever again.
I think Marvin and I are in a similar situation. this was the first show that I did after 4 years, I think, of not doing theater. And when I was asked to audition, I was like, what is this show? I don't know what it is. And they ended up showing me the script, and I was like, wow, this is like 20 different characters. And I was kind of doubting myself, thinking like, oh my God, this is a comedy? I'm not funny. You know, and I think we all kind of thought that for a while, or maybe it was just me, I don't know. But I was like, I'm not funny, so I don't know how I'm gonna make this work. But like Barbara said, I think I ended up surprising myself. And you know, this show, I mean, it was just perfect cast, perfect director, like everything. And it was just such a great experience that I just had to keep coming back. And so yeah, hopefully, you know, we'll see each other in more productions to come.
I think very simply, like this show, I feel like if this was a reminder that things will always evolve. It's ever evolving. And as life goes on, you will find new things to learn about yourself and to love about yourself. And like all the characters that I had to revisit doing this rerun, that's how I felt. Nah. Oh, there's still so much more to these characters and these lives, and there's so much more to me that I'm discovering as I'm getting older. And yeah.
Yeah, I love this show. I watched this show before when it was staged by... Yes. And when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, I wish I could do something like that. And fast forward to this one and didn't realize how difficult it was.
Actually, Gian is the reason why we have this rerun.
And just taking on this challenge is, I mean, I'm always up for a challenge, and of course with this this perfect group. Don't change.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Let's hear it